right, well, we're here in sunny California. Finally getting started. Just pulled this thing in. It's really exciting to see it in the garage. This is my my parents' house. First things first, before we get this thing up on jack stands though, I'm actually gonna take the hood off, just because we're gonna be spending some time under there. I think it's gonna make it easier. So let's go ahead and do that. So we just got the strut bar off and part of the cowling here. Look at the pass-through for the firewall is literally right there. So all we have to do is run the battery power straight through there. That is like the most convenient.
Oh, there it is. It is. God. Good.
Oh, it's getting stuck. Oh, I see it. I can see it. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's the plug. Oh, beautiful, dude.
Pulling out the fuel pump.
Alright, good morning everybody. It's a brand new day. So, I didn't end up filming a lot of clips yesterday. I'm still probably not going to film a ton today because we're still kind of finishing up the fueling system. Again, this isn't really a tutorial, we're just kind of walking you through what the process looks like for us. And there is just heaps and heaps of videos of people doing injectors and fuel pumps and all that stuff on these cars already, so I'm not going to bother. I'll actually link, there's a video from, or a couple videos from this guy, the Horizon. But he has done a bunch of videos. I'm actually kind of referencing some of those for what I'm doing here. So it's been really helpful. Where we left off yesterday, we didn't get a lot done yesterday because we actually were spending some time, like actually we got like the table set up, we had to clear out. This garage there was not as much floor here. As you can see for the video, we got these lights, picked them up and everything. So a little bit more setup yesterday than actual work. But today it's just work, so we're gonna be getting to it. Where we left off yesterday, I got the basket all put together. I'll put a picture up on the screen. It really wasn't worth me just filming the process of putting together because it was kind of slow and tedious. I just want to make sure I got it right. But we got the basket bolted back down into the fuel tank, so we're all done there. There we go. Added this extra port here. It's just a AN fitting there. It's all stuff part of the Fast Intentions fuel return kit. So basically everything with the fuel pump, the basket, and everything is done. So today what we're going to do is just make sure that we run the external power to it, do the splicing for that, which should be super quick. Whenever Will gets here, I'm going to have him button up all those panels again. And from there, we're going to run to actually running the fuel return lines, which will be some stuff underneath the car. So we'll end up getting the car up today, running the lines from the fuel tank up to the engine bay. And then at that point, we'll be taking off the intake manifold and we'll do the injectors while we're down there. Like I said, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of in-depth filming when it comes to the fueling stuff, just because there's so much footage out there already. Nobody really cares that much. Just kind of more capturing the process of it. When we get to actually running the boost lines and, for the wastegates and the blow-off valve and running all the charge piping and everything, then we'll do a little more in-depth. But for right now, this is pretty basic stuff. It's kind of just prerequisites. Nothing super interesting. We're also just having fun jamming with the music on, and it's kind of annoying to pause the music, film a clip, start it back up again. So, yeah. We just got it up on jack stands. We filmed we had the camera right there, so it'll be like a top-down shot.
Yeah, it only took far longer than it should have. But...
Well, Will's here. He's ready to help.
Am I getting paid?
No, of course not.
Didn't our promotion for Raid Shadow Legends come in? Or...
Raid Shadow Legends. I forgot about that game.
So Ben is under the car, as you can see.
I'm running the fuel return line right now. It's nothing crazy.
So yeah, we got it run into the fuel pump right here in the top. I know you can't see it. That was a pain in the butt, but we got it done. We got all the plastic button back up. Now, what's this thing called that you put in the top here?
Oh, in the engine bay?
Yeah.
Fuel pressure regulator.
That's right, fuel pressure regulator. So that's in right now, and we're running the rest of the fuel line up to that. And then by tomorrow, hopefully we can have the bumper off and start on the intercooler. So that's what we're doing. It's fun.
So here's kind of a look at what we're working with. This is our factory injectors here, and I'm about to switch them out for the Injector Dynamics 1050cc ones. So just doing that pretty much, and then I'm gonna also have to splice new connectors for the new injectors. They're not plug and play. So gonna go ahead and do that, and then kind of, honestly, then we're just putting stuff back together, and we should be good. So this is gonna be me officially signing off for the day. I did technically get my goal done of getting the fueling stuff done today. I'll go ahead and show you here. It doesn't look a whole lot different because everything's already back installed, but we got the 1050cc injectors in there. The fuel return kit is all installed. No idea if it leaks or not. I did my best. I really did. So we're gonna find out in the morning, but technically speaking, all of the fueling stuff is done, and then we can actually move on to putting the turbo kit on. Because I'm pretty sure that's the only other thing that I had left to do. But for day 2, I'm pretty pleased with that. Running the fuel return kit honestly was a bit more work than I thought it was gonna be, but not horrible. We're gonna see if it leaks tomorrow. But for today, it's a good stopping point. So I'm gonna go try and catch up on some sleep, and I will catch you guys in the morning. Welcome back, everybody, to day 3 of the turbo install. Yesterday, like I said, I finished up the fueling and all that stuff, and I remembered this morning, thankfully, before I put the manifold back on, I'm gonna take care of spark plugs. I've already got one side out. Coil packs are looking pretty good. Here is one example of one of the spark plugs, the stock ones. It looks just fine, not a big deal. These are Denso brand. I'm pretty sure these are the OEM that came with the car. Probably haven't been changed. That's fine. And here is the ones that I'm putting in. These came with the turbo kit. These are Bosch ones, supposedly for a GTR. Obviously, it's not like OEM GTR, but it's gapped for one, or that's like the right one to use for it. It's Iridium something or other. So that's pretty good. One issue I ran into with though is my 14mm socket is not quite deep enough for, let me put this, with the length of the tail on this, it would actually go into where the extension would go, and so I couldn't actually seat the socket onto the, well, nut part, the hex part of the spark plug. My goodness, I haven't got a lot of sleep. Anyways, so what I ended up doing is this old mechanic's trick, which is to say I just made it up, is I just like halfway inserted the extension into here and then just taped it so it wouldn't fall off. And so I'm still able to get a grip here, but there's enough of the extension in that I can actually put torque behind it and it won't like strip or anything. Anyways, so that's what we're doing. Gonna go ahead and start putting the new ones in. so spark plugs are done. Went ahead and reinstalled those, and the coil packs and everything. Everything looks good in here. Oh, and actually another quick thing, just letting you guys know, I'm putting these breather filters. I'm venting the PCV to atmosphere. Normally I wouldn't do that, but there's actually a very specific reason why I'm doing that, because on the intake manifold, there's these two ports here that the PCV from both sides runs to. I'm just gonna cap one of them and use this guy for the blow-off valve, because I really prefer not to tap into plastic for making a new bung for that. So I'm just going to utilize what's there, and to make that possible, I'm venting these. I already took the hose off of it here, but this is the PCV on this side. The only thing is, I accidentally ordered 5/8 sized breather filters, but those nipples on the PCV are not 5/8. So what I'm actually doing, thankfully, I have this 5/8 hose. I'm cutting a little section of it, and it sandwiches perfectly between this guy and there. The outer diameter of this is about 5/8, and the inner diameter is whatever that is. I think it's like 3/8 or something. Yeah, so just so you guys know, that's my way of doing it personally. I think it's cleaner than drilling and tapping into the manifold to make a boost reference or anything. I just think it's simpler that way, and I prefer. And eventually I'll do a catch can, so those won't be vented to atmosphere. They'll be run to a catch can somewhere in there. But just gonna throw the manifold back on here, and that's gonna look like. All right, engine bay is pretty much put back together. Obviously I still have to put the intakes back on, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. So what you guys may recall is right here, we had put in a T-fitting for the, it's not plugged in right now, but you can see the plug here for the boost sensor. However, I have returned this back to stock because since we're actually removing the evap purge solenoid that sat right here previously, it's not right there, that's going bye-bye, and all the associated lines are as well, because we're actually hijacking this plug to run the boost controller. So none of that stuff matters, and it just leaves this open little bung right here, just perfect little port. And it obviously, if you follow the lines, connects here on either side behind the throttle body, which is perfect because that means you'll see vacuum and boost. So here's the assembled fitting here. Once again, like I said, we're gonna connect it in line with this hose here that is tapping into this, I'll pull it off so you can see, this nipple here that was for the evap. So we're throwing a line on there, routing it over here, obviously because our connector for the sensor was right here. And then with this little nipple here, we'll be able to tie it into this guy right here for the boost reference on the fuel pressure regulator. Okay, so I also went ahead and reconnected the intakes here, but here's how we're looking. Obviously there's a little bit of slack here. I'm gonna trim this down, but for now, I'm just leaving it open because I actually will have to disconnect this. I'm just gonna leave this one dangling for now. It's not important for it to idle. Honestly, it's kind of surprising how much room it feels like you gain just by, obviously there's caps on here right now, but how much room it feels like you gain by removing those PCV hoses that go right here. Like, I feel like there's so much more room in here. Really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and do kind of like a final once over, double check on everything. And then I think we're gonna have to actually flash the car with the base map, because obviously the base map is tuned to run with the bigger fuel pump and injectors. So it should be able to idle. Obviously, I'm not gonna rev it or anything because it's gonna expect to see boost, which it's not going to. I just wanna idle it so I can set the fuel pressure and also check for leaks. So I will run the camera while we're doing that, but for now, that's where we're at. I will update you guys shortly. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to expect. I just flashed the ECU. The fuel pump cycles, I can hear it going. I've already checked for leaks from just the pre-pressure, so there's nothing like, no glaring issues. It's not like, you know, spewing fuel anywhere. I smell a little bit of fuel, but I think it's from the disconnected evap hose, not from actual gas, because I can't see any signs of gas anywhere. There's really only one thing left to do, which is just start it. So I'm gonna start it and kind of like scramble and run around and check for leaks. So it's really about all I can do. Let's hope this goes well, because I don't know. Didn't see any leaks. I don't smell any leaks. Got the fuel pressure tuned. It seemed like really happy. So I think we're good. I think we did it. All right, I'm back from a little lunch break. I kind of buttoned up where the battery is over there. One thing I wanted to show you guys, cool little thing. So here's our boost controller. This is a 3-port max solenoid. My dad 3D printed this really cool little mount for it. So there's these two, as you can see the light through them, there's these two holes here, and those slot into these two little pegs here. It'll focus, the two pegs there, and then the body of it just snaps into this clip here. And I was initially going to use self-tappers and do two like screws through here, but where I ended up wanting to mount it, I was only able to fit one, so I actually ended up doing a nylock nut and like a nut and bolt in there, just because I figure I won't be able to rattle loose that way. So that's really cool, and then this will just snap in there. I just need to splice the end of this and then plug it into the evap plug there, which I have this pigtail for from Specialty Z. So, all right guys, so here is the finished boost controller. I spliced it up to the tail, and I just wrapped some Tesa tape on the wires here, just to kind of protect it, because it was kind of some flimsy wiring. So what I'm gonna do here, literally it just snaps right in, which is really nice. It's a little bit tight, but that works out well. There it is, snaps right in. A little bit of wiggle room, but nothing crazy. And like that thing's not going anywhere. And so then of course we got the tail now. And the tail is just gonna go, literally just gonna run right across the back of the engine here and right into the plug, just like that. And now we have boost control. Obviously I'm gonna run the wires a little bit nicer than that, but it doesn't have to be crazy. Getting back to it, buttoning up for the day. I may not stay here too long today, to be honest.
So that was a
may not stay too late. Just kind of want to get it to a good stopping point. I might pull the bumper off and kind of pull the intakes out, but otherwise, I'm just glad that we're done with all the fueling. Now it's actual like turbo stuff. So that's that. My mic's about to die, but I will update you as we go along some more. Well, there it goes. I'm not sure where I want to put this. I'm kind of running out of space in this freaking garage. All right, I gotta go ahead and pull off the crash bar now. Okay, so I just disconnected this harness. So now this thing should just pull off. So, it's angled. Ah, okay, it's the horn. Just unbolt that, I guess. Which is kind of crazy. We're just not, it's been a real warm and real dry winter this year. Anyways, that crash bar is not going back on. Intercooler is going there instead, so it's probably safe. I think. I mean, it's a big old hunk of aluminum. It's gotta count for something. I think my goal right now to end of the day is have the intercooler mounted on the front, just for looks, just because it's gonna be cool. Okay, so here's an up closer look. I've got the brackets bolted on. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do with this harness yet. But we're flipping around this bracket, so it clamps on this way. What we're gonna do is flip it around this way, so it actually kind of sits further in. It mounts a little closer in that way. Okay, so I went ahead and flipped this one over, and I have this one off. Interesting thing is the picture in the instruction shows to put it like this, but in that way it's kind of interfering with this. And thankfully these hoses back here they have room to move. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna put it on like this with the L facing that way, because it kind of tucks behind that way and is more out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now I just need to tighten down here. Obviously it's at a bit of an angle. You can kind of actually see it's even bending the bracket a little bit as I tighten it in here, but I think that'll be okay. I'm not too worried about it. I don't really know where this bend came from in my cooler there, but whatever. It's solid enough, it's not gonna go anywhere. I think we're clear in this case, so let's move on. All right, well, I just checked the instructions, and that's the last thing that I need to do before I can mount this. I'm seriously wondering what the heck to do with this, because the instructions don't say. I think I'm gonna actually tweak this first. I'm already seeing a good spot to mount this right here off of this bolt, because we're not gonna be using that anymore. I'll show you guys what I come up with. Okay, so what I've kind of come up with so far is this can unplug here, and then these two unplug as well, which actually just leaves a dangling harness here. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually feed it either behind and follow the routing of the oil cooler lines, or through this little gap here. I think I might just do the gap, pass it behind this way, and then plug it back in, just so it's kind of sitting a little bit further back there. I'm not too worried. I mean, it's all wrapped up and everything, so I'm not too worried about heat off the radiator too much. Also, just one thing to note with mounting this horn on here, I mounted it facing this way. Initially, I had it flipped, but I think that would have been a clearance issue with the intercooler here. So flipping it backwards for the most amount of frontward space. So I'll show you guys the way I end up routing this once I unplug everything. Hopefully this works. Okay, so I've got it passed through. I might use one zip tie just to hold it here, just to kind of hold it up and out of the way for the most part. But clearance is actually pretty decent. The only thing I would say is when passing it through this hole here is just to be delicate or to be gentle, because there are some really small wires here that go to the horn. There's one other one as well. These two little guys. But for the most part, it's nothing crazy. There was just one clip here holding this guy on for the, I'm pretty sure that's the outside air temp sensor. And then just these two, I can't plug them in with one hand, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then throw a couple zip ties, and I think I'm just gonna call that good. I don't really wanna mess with it too much more. All right, so here's kind of the final thing that I ended up sorting out. I have the wire running this way. I wanted to be careful of this corner here. Not that it's that sharp, I just didn't want it to be touching there. So we've got one zip tie here, got another one at the other point here, right before it passes through the hole here. So we got one holding it up here. And then here's where we get, I went a little crazy. So we got one here holding it up to this bracket. There's actually already a zip tie. It's underneath there, you can't see it, but a factory one for one of those wires. So I figure, okay, this is a good spot to put one. That kind of keeps holding that up here. I have one zip tie here holding these two kind of loose ones together. And then one more up here, just holding it also together, keeping it kind of as one uniform piece. And these are sort of loose and dangly, but I don't think they're gonna really touch anything. They've got slack to move around, and that's more or less where they were mounted before. So I'm pretty happy with that. All the wires are tucked up out of the way. I'm gonna be completely honest, I forgot I don't have a round file, so I kind of just picked off the burrs with a needle nose. It's not great, but it's also not anywhere anyone's gonna see. You're not even gonna be touching it at any point, so I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw back on the brackets and let's see how this fits. Okay.
The salami leg ain't gonna fit, won't fit.
Okay, so what I've come up with right now is I'm just gonna use some exhaust bolts because these holes are enormous. Honestly, I don't understand, dude, because even with, it is like a bad idea to use this with this lock washer on these holes these are the pre-drilled ones. It's not even that I made mine too big. I mean, this will pass through mine, but I don't know what the big idea is here. But for now, we're just gonna use these because I just want to get it on for appearance sakes for today, and then call it a night. I guess, bro. I don't know. Pretty cool, man. So our first look at it with the intercooler up front. It does have, and the cart is fairly level. It does have a slight downward tilt, which is interesting. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, like V-band style. I guess it kind of makes sense because of the way that the bumper is. It kind of flow upwards that way. And looking at it from the top here, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but I can. Doesn't look like it's touching anything, so I think we're good back there. Anyways, with that, we're gonna wrap up day 3. Day 3, wrapping it up, day 3. Pretty cool. All right, everybody. Day 4 of the turbo install. There she is. Oh boy. Good to be back. Good to be back. So, this is where we left off yesterday. Just got the intercooler on, and yeah, we're moving right along. I think the next thing, we have to move some wiring. That's right, we have to, there's a little bit of tweaking that you do to the wiring location on the side of the transmission to make it tuck a little closer and sit a little bit higher, just to make room for all the stuff. And then I also did get some like a Velcro heat shield thingy to cover the gauge wiring, because it's not really that heat resistant, just to be safe. There is a bracket up here, it's this guy. The instructions say to flip this around 180 degrees. Let me take the bolt out real quick. The problem with that is it's got this little flange notch thingy on there, and there's a little flange notch thingy here. It keeps it from rotating, so it goes like this. If I'm to flip it around, the notch that's on the transmission here, and which I do not want to cut, I don't want to get a saw anywhere near the transmission, it hits like in the middle of the plate here. So my solution is going to be, you can kind of see the scratch mark where it hits. I'm just going to drill a hole right there so that thing can pass through it, and then I can properly bolt it up that way. And then I'll just zip tie through this hole to this harness. I'm going to try out this GoPro head mount. I haven't tried it out yet. I got it specifically for doing this project too. Kind of cool. I haven't used this drill press in literally years and years and years. It was a Christmas present one year. I really wanted one of these because I did a bunch of projects down here all the time. So kind of cool to get to use it again. There's our speed adjustment thingy. Just like that. So here's, if you can't tell, this is how the bracket was. We'd stop there. Flipping it upside down, that hole now clears that little thingy so you can fit the bolt back in. I think that's a pretty clean solution, and it won't rotate because that peg is in the hole. So I'm gonna call that good. I'm not gonna zip tie it to the thing yet. Okay, yeah, so I just checked. It looks like to get this up as high as the instructions say to put it, I am gonna have to disconnect it from here. Thankfully there's a plug there, so I can just snake this back out of there, and then it'll probably run closer to right here. Should give it enough slack to go up there. Okay, one thing to note as well, if you don't have this bracket that was here, like I do, I don't know where it went. Obviously I took it off at some point. The kit, it has this, it does not come with a bolt, so you're gonna have to have a 10 mil. Thankfully, I had one lying around. In fact, it may even be from that hole, who knows? But you're gonna need one. Okay, so as you can see here, this is like a VIN marker bracket or something. The instructions show putting a bolt through here for this this clamp guy, but it's like a rivet or something. I don't know what to do here. So basically what I ended up doing is I just zip tied this thing closed. I just wanted to use this as like an insulator because it's wires on metal. I just didn't want it to break down. And then threw a zip tie through the inside of it just to zip tie it to, like, to hold it to the plate. So it sits roughly where it would have been if I could have put a screw through there. But otherwise we're looking good down here, and ended up having some slack here. Not a ton, but some. So I think I'm just gonna zip tie it right here. I don't like putting cables up against kind of like a side of metal there because I don't want it to wear through. But it does, I mean, it does have the wire loom, so it's probably okay in the long run, but we'll see. Alright, so I went ahead, dealt with all the slack from our sensors for the wires, or for the gauges, my goodness. Got it protected with this stuff. Still gonna tuck it up there. It was really nice. It's just got Velcro on there, just Velcroed together. I'm just gonna put one more zip tie because I had to take it off to hold it to this bracket. This one's still good up here, and I think we're pretty much safe. This already has shielding stuff on it, so I'm not too worried about it.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you're seeing this, I just wanted to come on here real quick and kind of wrap up a few things. Yes, I'm sorry about the lights. There's nothing I can do about it. Thankfully, the Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm filming with right now seems to be the only one that's affected by it. The action camera footage, of which there's a lot more in part 2, doesn't seem to bat an eye at the lights, even though they're running the same frame rate and shutter speed. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'll just keep it in mind for next time, I guess. Big thank you to everyone who stopped by the garage while I was actually working on this, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this video out. You'll notice that I blurred out the license plate of my mom's car in this video, and I neglected to think of that while I was filming, where I could have just thrown a rag over it or got a license plate cover or something. So that's taken a lot of time to track that all in. But yeah, obviously this is kind of a huge undertaking, doing the kit and all this stuff all by myself, so it's taken a little bit of time. And if it wasn't clear from this, I'm just trying to fill in the gaps because the instructions have quite a bit of holes in them, and hopefully this will help anyone who's doing this kit in the future. If this has helped you and you're doing the same kit, leave a comment, that'd be awesome, let me know. But yeah, car's a lot of fun. Still dialing in the tuning as of right now. I think the power's about done, but trying to get some flames and fun stuff out of it. But otherwise, yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.